This way. Hey everyone, how you doing? You've summoned a lesser maker. We're well, let me get a better view of this guy. We're doing some building on this Temple of Nurgle. Uh we kind of finished a lot of the basic structure and now we're just going to turn it up to 11. So we have a lot to do today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me pull up chat so that we can kind of hang out. And then I just need to do a quick video for Instagram. And then we can start molding and casting gargoyles. Doing a little bit more scratch building. I have to finish the roof line. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of this stuff is going to be like final detailing. So yeah. All right. All right. I'm almost done posting this link on Instagram. Link. Share, copy link, and then I should probably do a Patreon post too real quick while I'm at it. So thanks for being patient. There's just so many things to remember, and when I'm by myself doing all this stuff, yeah. Yesterday I forgot to do it, so it's probably a good idea to remember today. All right. This one's pretty easy. Embed URL. All right. Okay, let's pull up chat now, finally. Hey, thanks for getting in here and for your patience. Yeah, so the foam sealant stuck on really nicely right here. It looks really great. It's looking pretty good as far as like all this other stuff. Just as a comparison to what we had here before, because I still have it over here. This is what we've been building over the past couple days, and this is what it's replacing. Both, obviously this isn't painted yet, but I'm really liking how much dimension this one has compared to this. So, and it just has a much nicer, fine look to it as well. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So, yeah. Um, hey, welcome in. We're doing the Temple of Nurgle again. Um, yeah. So I think I'm trying to decide on what we should do first. Um, it's probably a good idea to finish with the popsicle stick so I can kind of clean my area up and um, do some casting. So let's do the roof first. And then we could start like putting on some of those fine details and then finally do the interior. Um, I'm going to reiterate things like I reiterated yesterday. Um, so basically what we're doing for the Temple of Nurgle is on the outside it looks like a building and on the inside it looks like a body. And so I have some animal skeletons from Halloween dollar stores and stuff like that that were well, hopefully I haven't checked actually. I should at least. uh, maybe I'll have to sculpt that if I don't. But yeah, so that's kind of the game plan. Should be pretty cool. Roof line before I forget again. All right. Let's heat up the hot glue gun. Feel free to let me know what you guys are working on today. Yeah. Um, yeah, I've been really enjoying doing this live with you guys because it's more, if, I don't know, it just feels a little bit more collaborative. I don't feel like alone in my room, you know? So it's been really nice. That's pretty cool. I never played 40K, but that's awesome. Sweet. Okay. I think I'm gonna switch over to this setup here, and then start gluing in some popsicle sticks for the roof line. Um, it's hard to figure out a camera angle for this. Maybe I should start by cleaning up a little so that I can kind of move this board around. That's the one downside with like building on these boards is it can be kind of hard to like maneuver in a small area. All right. Um, I have a little spot over here that kind of needs some gap filling. I'm almost tempted because we're going to be adding all that like flesh on the inside to kind of hide those crimes with some more like expanding foam. Uh, Or I could just glue in some popsicle sticks, like 2 popsicle sticks worth of material. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. We have another gap right here, so maybe I could do that too here. That's exactly 1 popsicle stick. And then lining the roof line with a bunch of different widths of popsicle sticks to kind of look like planking. It's going to look really cool. Yeah, so just easy techniques add up to a better result. It's all these buildings are they just become greater than the sum of their parts by the little details that you add up over time. So yeah, that's my opinion anyway. I don't think this stuff is over complicated. Let's see if this hot glue gun is ready. Not quite. All right. Still waiting for the hot glue to like ready up, so let's kind of hang out for a little bit. Oh, I think I saw that on the Discord. That looked really cool. Hey guys, just waiting for the hot glue gun, and then just gonna do some quick popsicle sticks for the roof. I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow today. Not gonna overcomplicate it. We're gonna do shingling too. That's always a nice technique to show off. And then if everything goes well, molding and casting is going to take a while. So if everything goes well, we can maybe start on the interior as well. That's kind of the hardest part. So maybe I'll put that off to tomorrow and just like keep cramming in detail until the day is done today. So we'll see. Because it's YouTube, I'll just remind you guys to leave a like on the stream. It helps out a lot. And then let's see, is this hot glue done? Just about. All right, I think we'll switch over now. Where is that? I have some LED lights that change color. I wish I could figure out where that is. It's probably underneath everything. Maybe that will help. All right. Squeeze back here a bit. Okay, so I have these jumbo popsicle sticks. These ones are really good for this technique, and we're just going to be lining up the side here, giving it a bit of dimension and giving it some overhanging, like, you know, it's nothing crazy, but it's a nice detail. And then I could show you a little bit more as we go along. Get chat again. And I'm not really caring so much about like the length of these. I'm just letting the popsicle stick break where it wants, and then that kind of just informs how all this is going. So the algorithm is as the beast that I have yet to figure out. So I appreciate your guys' help sharing stuff and doing all that. It's it's hard to figure it out. All right. And then I could cut these with like the tin snips, but breaking it just gives it so much more like dimension and interest. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. Popsicle sticks are pretty flat, so I like to shatter them because they're pretty smooth. But just to keep in mind though, when you're making things, like paint can get you a long way. When painting stuff like this, the popsicle sticks might be flat, but with some rough painting, it can kind of make up for it. So stay. Alright. So we didn't add that much to this, but it really makes a difference. Like, it makes it feel a little bit more whole. I'm gonna cut this guy at a 45-degree angle so that when we lay them here, they'll kind of meet in the middle. And if I planned ahead better, I could have like planned that out so that those were like ripped up, but that's my short answer to that. Oh well. All right, that's like awesome. You can really see how much difference that makes, so I'm plenty happy with that. I forget to glue these windows in. Yikes. You know, when I Mod Podge this whole thing, I'll just make it a point to put some PVA glue in that area, and then that should glue them in fine, I think. Oh, Let me move the mic closer so that you guys can hear me. All right. Yeah, I got a bulk order of these jumbo popsicle sticks from Amazon, and it was a nice feeling to never. It's a nice feeling to never run out of these. So, yeah. All right. Let's maybe I should do the floors. Nah, I'll do the floors later. I can't be bothered. All right. I know you guys can't really see this part, but we'll end off on this side. I don't know. It's hard to get into this like angle, so, and I'll say that 40 more times. I'm sure. That's a good question. I could look it up. Why don't you at me on the Discord, and I can give you more specific details after the stream. I'd like to keep my momentum right now. Man, it's hot in here. I need to turn on the fan. Oh, I found the last crossbow I was looking for a while ago. Oh well. Man, I need to make this text bigger. All right. Oh, you guys will be so proud of me. I remember to put the Discord on the description. So, yeah. I did something for once. Or maybe you won't be proud of me. I don't know. I'm gonna start breaking these a little smaller. All right, just a little bit off the top here, like that, and then we can glue this last one down. All right, then I got this one. I have a couple of these. I'm just gonna fill in this area here I don't know if you guys will be able to see this part, but I have a wall that just looks unfinished. So I'm gonna make it look just slightly more finished than it normally would be. All right. So I got this building here, and then I should probably do this part too. I'll reinforce this later. With some under supports, like kind of bridging the gaps here. Come on. Stay. Can you even see this? I don't know. It doesn't look like it, but there's this little median in between the tower and oh my gosh, man, it just went up like 10 degrees in here. Let me turn on the fan real quick. All right, so that looks fine. Now we can kind of go over to this side. You know what? Let me do this side, and then I'll spin the board around so you guys can see the other side of the building. Make it a little more interesting. All right. Stay. That just does not look good. All right, let's switch that out. Well, those need to be longer. I kind of want them to fill in like in between here, so all right, let's try that again. All right, that looks pretty good. Let me get a clothespin for the top. I think I should have one right here. So I more or less just kind of place these at random. I typically I try to go like longest at the bottom, and then they kind of taper up so that it's easier to like place your hand and miniatures inside. But I mean, sometimes I break that rule too, so it just depends on my mood. So yeah, vibes, I guess. All right. Usually I don't put that much thought into it because these popsicle sticks break wherever they want. And I kind of let the material make those decisions for me so that it saves me some time. Um, I have a jar of War Master miniatures. Um, yeah. You see that? That's spectacular. these little details like make something that looks like popsicle sticks and clothespins to like something that was architecturally thought through. And that's why I like little details like this. I have this one, which is a War Master miniature from Thingiverse that I 3D printed on my FDM printer. And then I just kind of put a bunch of hot glue here and then stick it in place. And these just act as weather vanes. Sometimes they break off, and I mean, I built all these from scratch, so if something breaks off, I just glue it back on. I don't care much, so yeah. I have a couple of these matchsticks. Maybe I can help this stay in place a little bit more by kind of framing it out. I probably would have benefited from gluing this with super glue, but I mean, I know that now and it's too late, so all right, let's spin this guy around and then we'll I think I'm gonna rework the camera angle just a bit so that you guys can get a little closer to it. Oh, that's great. All right. Chat. Grab my microphone. All right. Now we can kind of sit down in style. You know, I don't. The ones that I have are undead cavalry. And to me, like undead architecture is very Mordheim, so I think it's I think it's pretty fitting. But I mean, the city of Mordheim is like basically undead as it is, so all right, so now we just got these guys. Let's trim this off. And then we can start casting some gargoyles. No, this is hard plastic from the dollar store. I didn't do anything to this guy. So, yeah. There. I need my hot glue gun. All right. Stay. Oh, sorry. All right. Oh, cool. You know, that's one of the things on my list I've been wanting to do for my wife because I think she's on book 33 of the year. She's read. Uh, I've been wanting to make a book nook for her bookcase for a while. That's something I should do, probably. It's always hard to, like, in a video, like, branch out because YouTube just does not reward that ever. Um, yeah, it can be kind of a deterrence to, like, be creative sometimes, which is frustrating, but I mean, it is what it is, so. Usually one bead of hot glue is fine for the structural integrity of, like, this stuff. Um, a lot of the times when I'm done gluing this stuff in, what I'll do is I'll take those matchsticks, just like on this roof here, and bridge across them just to kind of, like, make it not so, like, you knock one off and nothing's holding them together, you know? So I'll probably be doing that too. Yeah. Um, you know, that's probably the biggest hiccup for me is, like, where do I, what, it's hard to, like, pinpoint a book that she's read that I can get, like, inspired by. So, yeah, I'm not, it probably would have to be something Lord of the Rings or something like that because I can watch a movie about it. I just don't read, so. Um, the reason I can't be bothered to do it on the inside is because no one would see it. And if I'm going to do that extra effort to make sure it's bonded, I might as well like use it as a texture rather than make it invisible. Um, if I were to do it underneath, I would prefer to like do it while it's flat on the table and like super glue it and then put it up as like a full board. Um, but then I don't get the curvature I want. So that way I don't have to go underneath. It just makes my life easier if I can just glue it on top. So, and uh, usually the reason I do things will end up being it saves me time. So, but always feel free to ask. Like that's not me dismissing that at all. Like I'm fine with those types of questions because sometimes it is different. So. Is the music still good? I didn't check that today. It just saves the link from last time and like leaves off from where I was last time, so I didn't like I should have probably made sure it was working, but remembering things is hard, so let's put this guy here. All right, well that's pretty darn good. See, I got a couple more of these miniatures I can glue on. I might as well just use one of these War Master guys. I don't have a ton of these, but um so a while ago Miscast got like he did a garage sale on his website of all his stuff that he didn't want anymore. And I bought one of those I bought something from it. I don't remember offhand. Oh, it was like a kit bash miniature he did. And with it came a War Master miniature in plastic, and I put it on one of the tops of these guys. I think the board's on the wall, so I don't have it right now. But uh, yeah, it kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, this is what I need to do. This is perfect. So I went on eBay, got some metal ones, and the rest is history. It's just such a nice detail. Um, is this out of focus? Hello? Why aren't you in focus? Is there not enough light? Why does it hate me? All right, that seemed to fix it for some reason. I don't know. All right. That's frustrating. All right. All right. So I think that's good for the roofs. Let's All right. I think I'm going to clean up this mess on the table. And then I can start recasting some gargoyles from some molds I have. And then, yeah, that will give us some time to like chat about stuff and whatnot. Is anyone new to the stream? I would assume a lot of people are like coming back again. But I mean, if you're new, welcome. Usually I do weekly content, and so I'm doing okay, cool. This week and next week I'm not going to be able to do a video because it's my 11th wedding anniversary, and we have a trip next week, and then Saturday is my like actual anniversary, so I'm going to be busy. So anyway, we're doing a live stream every day this week and next week, and we're just doing terrain builds and kind of doing whatever because of that, and it's been really fun. So thanks for joining, I appreciate it. But just so you know, that's kind of the reason why we're doing it. And then yeah, I'm having a lot of fun kind of just hanging out and like not being alone in this room, you know what I mean? So it's been really great. So thanks for joining and whatnot. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, my wife, all credit goes to her for this channel. Like, obviously I'm in here doing the work, but she's the one that pushes me and doesn't make me feel bad about like not putting away laundry. She, like, if I'm on the couch like just kind of recovering, she'll be like, hey, what are you doing out here? Get back in there and work. So yeah, all credit goes to her for this whole channel. So she is well deserved of some me time. So yeah. Yeah, she's I'm aware. I'm like the luckiest dude. So yeah, thanks. Okay, so let's kind of scoot this aside a little bit. I think we're gonna go back to this setup. Um, just my microphone. It's not a Star Trek themed alien. All right. I got some molds that we can use. This one is a fish one. This one is a squig. This one is what I call the frog oil. That mold needs to be sacrificed to the gods. Here, that one is good. And then if I have extras, I can cast up some doors, treasure chests, and some windows. All right, let me grab my smooth cap. All right, so what we're doing is I like to add a lot of details to these. Obviously, buying War Master miniatures can get kind of expensive. So the way I like to cheat is to kind of make molds of gargoyles I sculpt, or getting plastic animals from the dollar store and like decapitating them and just sticking them right on. That's obviously the cheaper way of doing stuff like this, but just as an example. So I can get these from the Dollar Tree, and a lot of them like don't really work. I would say like a camel. I mean, that could be kind of goofy one. I don't really like the look of the elephant. Kangaroo doesn't really work. A lion works, so I just kind of cut off the head and then trim off the legs. And then you can just stick it right on, and it like works perfectly fine. I have a pack of fish that I like, and these are just the heads of those fish. They look really great. It's a nice detail that kind of steals the show a bit, so that when inevitably a mess up happens, you can just stick a gargoyle right next to it. People won't notice the mess up as much because it's got a face on it. Um, it's scientifically proven to improve your builds. So, yeah, go try it out. um, yeah, so the squig is a good example of a GW miniature. Like, uh, where's my? Oh, here they are. It's a good example of a GW miniature. Those can be kind of expensive, so it's not very feasible to kind of reuse those a bunch. So I like to make a mold. Yeah. So I've been playing Mordheim since the like the first video of the channel that I did a Mordheim board, that's how long I've been playing. It's almost like 2.5 years, I think. And I'm just eyeballing this because usually I can kind of figure it out. I've only messed this up like a handful of times. And one of them will be live on camera. So I just have a bit of balsa wood that I use as a stirrer. Typically, like a plastic cup lasts only one mix. I've noticed that it doesn't work very well on the second time, so that's something to keep in mind when doing this. This has like a 5-minute cure time too, so you want to mix it pretty good. I personally don't care about bubbles because let's just imagine metal is in a city that a giant molten meteorite strikes. If there are a couple bubbles on, like, let's say, a molten statue, that honestly kind of makes sense. So, all right, frog oil. Let's do that one first. When you're first doing this, obviously you should wear gloves, just to kind of get until you get the feel of it. The more you do it, the more you can kind of take risks like that. But the first time is going to be a mess, 100%, and that's just unavoidable. So keep that in mind. Wow, this is getting thick really fast. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's already curing in the cup. All right. Huh. I wonder if I had already used this cup before. That might have been what the problem is. It's probably not like a huge problem, but usually I would like to mix or use everything that I mix. So, or maybe I just like put too much air in it. It's fine. It's almost the weekend. I'm looking forward to that. This week at work has just been insanity. Man, every day it's just been like one thing after another. So it's always been nice to come home and kind of relax, hang out with you guys, and it's been really nice. So yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. It's getting kind of rubbery, which um, for something like a door, probably it would warp, but something like the squig, it probably helps to be able to demold it at this point because it's kind of got some curves on it. Oh no. Let's stick that back in. I jinxed myself by saying I'd mess it up live on camera. Let me get the kitchen scale because that's probably what happened as I eyeballed it at the wrong quantities. So yeah, let me try that. Oh, that's awesome. Vacation is always nice. Man. All right. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Hopefully I didn't royally like screw up the mix where I have to like oh, it looks like it got a little harder. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I just needed to wait. My impatience is showing. No spoilers, but has anyone seen Superman? I've only heard good things so far, and I'm really looking forward to that movie. Um, yeah, I mean, I, I'm I really liked Henry Cavill as Superman, but um, I get the need and want to kind of start fresh. So yeah, I did like the Batman with Robert Pattinson. That one was just really cool. The Batmobile scene was just like amazing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing more of that. Little fish drainage pipe we can put somewhere. Awesome. Okay. Yep. I was just impatient. Let's see. Frog oil. It's just a frog gargoyle. All right. A nice little door. This is one of the Mordheim doorways from the original kit that I recast. Half of a Mordheim window, and then this one actually came out pretty good, so considering it was like curing while I was pouring it, I mean, hard to complain with that. All right, so I'm gonna let these kind of air out a bit before I recast more. And you kind of get all the flashing off this guy. Awesome, dude. Can it focus? No. All right. I'll post a photo on the Discord if you're interested. This is my favorite miniature that I've sculpted. It's one of my only ones that I've like I 3D modeled the frog head and I 3D printed it a long time ago, and then I had a bunch of molds of heads that were just too big for stuff, so I green stuffed the rest of the frog. So this is one of the things that like is all me, which is kind of cool. So uh, it just makes me smile, you know. So all right, I just put that in the hobby hangout section. All right. I'm gonna mix this up a little before. Maybe I haven't mixed these in a while, so maybe that has something to do with it. I'm gonna get a new cup. I did eyeball it all right, so maybe I don't need the scale. Okay. But maybe I should just do it anyway. All right. What is Averlanders? I'm happy to give my thoughts, but I don't really know what you're talking about, so. All right, part A. All right, 22 grams, yep. And then I need to make it 44. Now it just went from 22 grams to 23 for no reason, which is always very comforting. So 44. I did too much. Oh well. I have just stirred it in the cup before and it worked out fine. So maybe let's try that. Kind of not get wood in there. I'm gonna do this one first because I haven't had a copy of it. Stop. It's always kind of sketchy to do this right next to my phone. And I would move it, but I'm too scared to do that. I should prioritize the frog oil because I'm gonna need at least 3 of those, I think. And then I can do... Ah, I spilled. All right. Grr. We'll just leave that in the cup. And when this is ready, I'll have I'll be able to pick this up and the cup will lift up too. Oh, yes. As far as like war bands go, I've never played against them, and I'm pretty sure, and I've never played them, so I don't really have thoughts on them, to be honest. Um, Live reaction. Um, let's see. Are they not in the basic rules? Reichland, Mindenheim, Marienburg. I could have sworn they were in here. Huh. Yeah, they're not. Wow. I've definitely seen the name before now that you say it, but oh, and the town crier. Let me pull out the 2001 annual then. All right. Um, 48. Averlander Mercenary Warband. Oh, are these the like the snow guys? Um yeah, I mean, they look cool. Um yeah. It's always hard for me to imagine like how they would play in game. That's always kind of hard for me, but yeah. Uh, uh they have pretty good stats though. Most of them were fours, which is nice. So, all right, that's a nice squig. I have focus there for you. That's nice. Let's see. This one done. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's not quite done. You can see that it's still kind of, well, I can see, you probably can't, that it's still kind of wet at the bottom. So, yeah, that's why you kind of want to check the cup first before you just pull it out of the mold like I just did. So, typically, the bigger pieces will cure faster because there's more of it to like do the thermal activation or whatever, but yeah. All right, that looks good. See how this treasure chest turned out. I haven't done this mold in a while. Yeah, that was a little funky, but all right. So I was able to kind of just warp this one a bit to kind of do something weird. This is a like supposed to be a drain pipe, so I can just stick like a plastic straw right there or a paper straw or whatever, and just stick it like right here, and it'll like drain all the water. I like that detail a lot. Sometimes when I'm demolding stuff, it just like gets really floppy or whatever. Just put it on a flat surface and then like kind of straighten it out till it like finishes curing, and it's usually pretty fine. It'll harden up. Oh, this is the pig mold. I thought it was the skeleton one. All right. All right. Well, I think that might be enough of molding and casting. We can kind of move on and start gluing these things down. See. What time is it? 3:30. Gotta put my phone on extreme power save mode so it doesn't die. Thanks, dude. I'm always so surprised like how good some stuff looks. Maybe one day I won't be, but I don't know. It's super fun to like see a project come together. I live for that final product, so that's why I get this stuff done, because I'm like, I want it done. I want to see it come together. So there's that. I just have to undo all the flashing real quick for these guys, and then I can kind of put them in the terrain bits box for future use, because I won't need these windows or these doors. Well, I might need a... Yeah, I might need a door. I'll leave this door out. Gargoyles. Alright. Now I can clean up after myself again, and then we can keep moving forward. I did finally get an idea for sculpting my own miniature. So one of these streams, maybe, we can start sculpting that or casting it. I don't know exactly. I don't know how to plan ahead that far, but that might be in the future. I think that would be kind of cool to have like a miniature that I've made. That's been kind of a bucket list thing, so yeah. Oh, right. Let's finish cleaning up and not get distracted by my own inner thoughts again. And yeah, all right. Need hot glue. Throw away the molds. Right. The tricky part is trying to find like where molds fit. I think I'm gonna put this lion one here. The one we made from the dollar store animal. That one usually fits pretty good here. Let's trim this guy up. And then we can glue him in? No. Not yet. Anyway. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I know I have some paper straws I could glue here. Got one. This is a plastic straw, but it'll be fine. All right. Let's hope and pray I have enough super glue accelerant. To put this gutter on, because that will make this so much easier. That's perfect. All right. I think I'll stop touching it finally, and then we'll just hope and pray that that's good enough. All right. Okay, so as far as Frostgrave goes, I have played that one before. I do think it's cool. I think it relies too heavily on the wizard to be like, it's good that it's different than Mordheim, but I do like it just seems a little more balanced. Mordheim just seems a little more uh like anybody could die, and I don't know. It's not bad. I prefer Mordheim. It just seems to click better with my brain, at least. I think where Frostgrave is the benefit of Frostgrave is it has a little bit more campaign ability and content around it. But I hear a lot of people like it. It's kind of the nice bridge between D&D and getting people into skirmish games. So that's always nice. Um, Oh, as far as models go, Frostgrave is amazing for models. I just the amount of bits you get, it's well worth the money you spend. I would prefer though if like they sold the sprues individually. So I get the sprues individually because I bought, I don't know what kit I bought, but I still have it. It was like one of my first kits I ever got, and I still have like 20 models or like 10 models of that kit left, and there's no end in sight for it. I'll have I have so many models with that kit. I think it might be like the dog people one. What is, like, not the werewolf. Um wow, I can't even think of it. But yeah, there were a lot of models in that kit. It was kind of a specific kit too. So I would prefer to buy the sprues individually rather than to get like a whole kit of it. So yeah. All right, gargoyles. Let's bring it over here. This might be a good spot for a rain gutter. I couldn't find my bendy straws though. So maybe I just put it here and then it drains it from the street instead of like in the middle of the street, which is kind of fun. So yeah, let's just do that. This is just such a fun detail to put on. It's like I gotta. I just have to put it on. Let's see if I can hot glue this on or if it's just gonna fall off. It's kind of the luck of the draw with plastics like this, especially ones that are like to do with food. Usually they're like non-stick, they're kind of oiled plastics, so because these are kind of wobbly, when I'm doing the interior, I'm gonna like add supports to these on the inside so that they're not so like wobbly, and they're gonna look like in-world supports too, which will be kind of a nice detail. But they won't like shake around as much. This one back here is like really stable. You can tell like it's not like shaking around, but these ones, they're pretty wobbly, so I'll say wobbly like 8 more times just to annoy you. Or just to annoy myself, I guess. I should have another hot glue stick already out here. Did it fall? Is it under it? No. Maybe I used it already. An alpaca will look funny, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's stupid. Oh well. I don't know if I'm sure there are ways to play Mordheim solo. I just don't. I've never done it before. Probably worth a Google. Oh. I should have cast up 4 more of these squig heads. Where's that bits box? Personally, I can't be trusted to do solo play because I'll just allow myself to win every time. So, yeah. All right. So let's spin this around a bit so I can explain this predicament. In each one of these corners on this front level, I like to put a gargoyle. I have some that I can just stick on, like this lion head that I put on a tombstone, and then the squig, and I want to put the toad on the very top, like right there. But I don't have the animals I want. So oh, I got one more pig head too. That one's good. I think maybe I have some over here. Oh, I have the fish. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Where are my... Oh. Got him. All right. There's that. Two. Oh, the tin snips. Like butter. All right, that's better. Two, three, four. I might as well. Yeah, I'll just do them on all four. Since I have all these, it'll make it look a little bit more cohesive too. So There it is. The final touch is to do this frog. And I think we can move on to the interior. Where's the frog? Oh, there he is. I put him on. I hid him from myself so that he would be easier to find. Cool. See if I can. Yeah, that looks awesome. Sweet. Perfect. Well, I'm at the point where we could start on the interior. If you're new to this stream, or if I haven't mentioned it yet while you're here, basic idea is this is the Temple of Nurgle. The outside looks like a building, and the inside looks like the inside of an animal or like an open wound. We want like some rib cages and like bones and meat, and like it's been warped by the weird stone around it, so Nurgle has like infected this building, making it like semi-alive or dying. Probably dying is a probably better way of describing how Nurgle likes things, but yeah. So I have some like Halloween animals. And bones that kind of stick in here. So I just went scavenging. Have lizard or something, and an anatomically correct spider. I think this was a crow. Yeah, it was like this guy. A spider leg, a crow's foot, and then I got a bunch of these ones too that I think will be good as like structural supports. I don't know. I have like feet and hands and stuff too. So yeah. Um, hmm. It's really tempting to just play it safe and not do this anymore. I don't know exactly how this is all gonna work. But I mean, I could just cut it out. So hmm. All right. Um, Backbone of a building. I kind of want to like make it logical, you know, like how do these bones like fit in a building? And I'm trying to like wrap my head around that. Um, I mean, a roof kind of makes sense as the backbone of the building. I almost should 3D print some rib bones because I feel like ribs, like in between each window, to kind of support, to like do a rib bone like this to support the top level, would be a really good move. And we could kind of like spray the foam and then like place it in, which is nice. But I'd have to 3D print that, and I don't have that ready. Um, Do like a claw. Hmm. So typically I like to work where I'm giving myself problems to solve later. But because we're trying to accomplish a goal of like a living building, that is a little harder to do in this case. These are kind of cool. Maybe I could separate each one of these. And what do I do with them? Do you think I should still keep like wood flooring, or should I make it like all meat, if that makes sense? Yeah, all right. Well, that's something I can do right now, then. And then I can kind of fit uh, everything else kind of like around that. That way it is playable, and then the details will kind of go on top and around the playable areas. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna get some popsicle sticks. Maybe we can fill in this gap right here after we fill in some of this stuff with or maybe I could glue it in with the spray foam instead of hot glue, so like it's like oozing around it maybe, and making it a little more uneven. That might be kind of cool to kind of, I don't know how predictable that will be, but yeah, I mean, I gotta do something, so let's just try it. So kind of like what I was talking about yesterday is I'm not trying to knock out all the air when I'm pressing this down because I want it to expand a little. But I want to make sure that it doesn't just like pop off as well. So that's kind of a weird element to like doing it this way. Now that it's curing though, I don't know how workable this place is, because if I knock this, is it gonna like, yeah, it's just gonna fall over. So I have to 3D print some ribs, and I think I need to like kind of plan out this in my head a little bit. So let's place this row of planks, and then I think we'll kind of call the stream there. It's 4:30, which is kind of around the time I like to stop anyway. I've been up since 3 a.m. so I'm a little tired. That's probably why it's harder for me to like think this through. So let's think about it like this and let it cure overnight while I 3D print some rib bones. And I think that might be a good time to call it for the day. See you later, Neil. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, dude. All right. I'm just gonna break a couple more planks. We'll glue these together. And then, yeah. All right, let's try it. Wow, that trigger was stuck. All right, and if it oozes out the front, I mean, it's supposed to be kind of a gross building, so it's kind of on theme, honestly. Maybe what I'll do is I'll spray a little, well, I should let it cure all the way first. And when I get the rib bones, I'll be able to kind of like texture it more with the spray foam too. All right. Um, well, we got a really nice looking building here. Hopefully we can nail it with the finishing touches. Really liking the gutters. The gargoyles are awesome. I'll be on tomorrow. Usually I come on around 2 o'clock. It kind of depends, just depending off of schedules and stuff. Like I'm going directly from work to home and then to live streaming. Sometimes I have to pick up kids, so it might be a little later, just depending on how that works. But if you're on the Discord, the link is on the first line of the description. I'll post it and you guys can join up. Yeah. So it should be cool. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.